You pick a product, you make a killer website, you start your campaign, scale them for 2 weeks, spend thousands of rupees on meta ads, and in the end, loss. In this video, I'm going to talk about why most people fail at Indian dropshipping and never make any money with it, and that is RTOs. RTO stands for Return to Origin, which is a situation where you ship out your order to the customer, but the customer does not accept it from the delivery person at their doorstep. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 actionable steps you can implement today to reduce RTOs and boost your profits. I'm also going to talk about some metrics in your business that you need to pay attention to have a successful dropshipping or e-commerce business. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So before we dive into the solutions, we need to first understand the basics of RTOs. Why do they even happen? If you're a beginner, I highly recommend you watch this part, and if you're familiar with this, you can skip ahead. So the basic reason for RTO is simple: cash on delivery. India is a COD market, so customers can make orders on your website without actually paying for it in advance, so they have no commitments. And when the delivery person reaches their doorstep, they simply reject the delivery for one of these 5 main reasons. Take a look at this sheet from one of our recent projects. These are all the RTOs that we received, 9,201. And just take a look at all of the reasons that we got for those RTOs: wrong address, customer refusal, rescheduling deliveries, consignee unavailable, self-collecting. So these are some of the main reasons that you will see on your panels why customers have refused delivery. I'll also link the sheet down below so you can remember these reasons. And when a customer does not accept delivery, your order will not automatically become an RTO. It first becomes an NDR. NDR stands for non-delivery report. This is where your shipping service like ShipRocket will inform you that the customer has refused delivery for one of the reasons that I showed you earlier. Now, after this, the shipping service will automatically try 2 or 3 reattempts to deliver your order. That's simply because they also don't want to handle the RTOs and it is a loss for them. But even after those 2-3 tries, if the order is not delivered, then it becomes an RTO. Now, here's the full flow of how an NDR becomes an RTO. First, your order is shipped and the order is not delivered on the first attempt. So the order becomes an NDR. After that, the shipping service tries 2 or 3 reattempts. Then the order is still not delivered, and then the order becomes an RTO and is delivered back to your warehouse. Look, we all know picking the right product and having good creatives is the core of any good money-making dropshipping business. But there's one more metric that is even more important in the Indian market, which is the delivery rate, which is the opposite of RTOs. And the problem here is that most people don't even know how to calculate the delivery rate or their RTO percentage. So let's dive into the Google Sheet and let me show you how to actually calculate that the correct way. Okay, let's start with a small example. Let's say you get 1,000 orders of a product. You cancel 50 orders because the customers don't want them, so you don't ship them out. You ship 950 orders, 450 get delivered, 200 are still in transit, 300 are RTO'd. Let's calculate the delivery and the RTO percentage of these orders. It's pretty simple. You get 450 deliveries, 300 RTOs, and the grand total is 750. Now, these are the orders that are already delivered or RTO'd. We're not going to count in transit orders. We'll come to that after this. The way to calculate your delivery rate is pretty simple. You divide 450 by 750 and multiply it by 100. So your delivery rate comes out to be 60%. Same way for RTOs, 300 divided by 750 multiplied by 100. I'm going to write down the formula here as well. So delivered orders divided by total multiplied by 100. Same way for RTOs here as well. RTO divided by total multiplied by 100. Just keep in mind the total has to be just the total of delivered and RTO'd orders. In transit will not be counted. Now, what about in transit? So let's say you have 200 orders that are in transit currently. The same delivery rate will apply to your in transit orders. That's how you can forecast your delivery rate of your in transit orders. So 60% of this 200 is going to be 120 and 40% of the RTOs will be 80. And this is exactly the same RTO and delivery percentage that will apply to your whole order list. So that's how you calculate your delivery rate and your RTO percentage, and I hope you understood it correctly. Okay, now that you know how to calculate your delivery rate and your RTO percentage, you need to understand how to use them in your profit and loss sheet to forecast your net profit. So let's dive right into this Google Sheet. This is a profit calculation Google Sheet, which will also be linked in the description so you can easily use it. So let's take this example. We have an ad spend of 10,000 rupees and we receive 100 orders from it. The average order value of every order is 700 rupees. In this case, our revenue becomes 700 multiplied by 100, which is 70,000, and automatically our ROAS becomes 7, which is 70,000 divided by 10,000. Let's assume our delivery rate is the worst, it is 50%. and our RTO rate is also 50% automatically. That means our delivered orders become 50. So which is 50% of 100, and RTO orders also become 50, which is again 50% of 100. I'm using 50-50 just to make it an easy example, right? Now the delivered revenue, which is our actual revenue, of course becomes 50% of the total revenue because the other orders got RTO'd, so we'll not count that as our revenue, right? So 35,000 rupees is our delivered or actual revenue. Now let's count our costs. Obviously, first thing will be the cost of goods. So let's assume we buy this product for 150 rupees per unit. So this will become 150 multiplied by 50, which is the delivered orders. For shipping, it costs us 100 rupees to forward ship one order, not RTO, just forward ship. So this becomes 100 once again multiplied by 50, which is 5,000 rupees. Now the RTO shipping costs us more than regular shipping, which will be 120 in this case. So we'll multiply 120 by the RTO amount of orders, which is 50. This is 6,000. And let's say it costs us 30 rupees to package every order. So this will be 30 multiplied by 100 because of course we have to pack every order. Now our total cost becomes 21,500. So what is our profit? Now profit becomes, which is our delivered revenue minus our total cost minus our ad spend, which is 3,500 rupees. In this case, our net profit percentage comes out to be just 10%. This is how much importance delivery rate and RTO rates have on an e-commerce business. Now let's make some changes in these two figures and see how it affects our net profit percentage. I'm just going to highlight this for it to be shown in green. All right. So here, let's say our delivery rate jumps up from 50% to a 60% and RTO goes out to 40%. You can see it jumps up to 21.9%, almost an 11% increase in your net profit, right? Your delivery percentage, let's say, goes down to 35% and your RTO comes up to 60%, 65%, you lose 20%. You'll not even make any money. And if your delivery rate, once again, let's say goes up to 75%, RTO goes down to 25, you'll make a 33% net profit. Okay, so sometimes it can be very hard to increase your delivery rate or decrease your RTO. So let's assume we only have 50-50%, just like in our first example. So we're at 10% net profit. What you can do is to try to increase your average order value. So let's say you offer some upsells and you make it 800 rupees. You can see from 700 to an 800, it also goes up to 21%. So you can either try to increase your delivery rate or your average order value to increase your total net profit. If you're getting any value from this video until now, I invite you to join the Indian Ecom Mastery Discord group. It's free to join and it's dedicated towards Indian ecom entrepreneurs. You'll find free useful tools, a free chat to meet like-minded people, weekly calls, weekly one-on-one contests, and students posting their daily results to keep you motivated. You'll also find free guides, all of these premium services to kickstart your business, and stuff like winning products, winning creatives, and supplier contacts. So if you're looking to kickstart your dropshipping business, click the link in the description and join today. And finally, let's talk about the 3 main steps that you can implement today to reduce your RTOs and increase your delivery rate. Step number 1 is to stop using COD forms. Everybody uses them these days, but please stop using COD forms. Everybody can place any order at any time and just simply give you a bad address quality, which results in a high RTO. In that case, please replace that with a one-click checkout. One-click checkouts do 3 amazing things. Let me dive right in and show you what. Okay, so I'm on the .nkey website and let's say I want to buy this sunscreen. I'm going to add it to cart and I'm going to checkout. Now this is a one-click checkout. It has already activated it and it's already asking me to input my number. So let me input my number here and click on add address. Now you see that it asks me for an OTP right away. That means it's filtering out all the non-serious buyers. So let me enter the OTP right here. Okay, I'm entering the OTP and as you can see, it has already fetched my address, which is a pre-filled address. I did not have to manually enter the address here, and in most cases your address will already be pre-filled. So your customers will also not have to fill their addresses, which reduces the friction in the checkout process. Now, if I proceed to payment, the third thing that it does, it gives me a prepaid discount. As you can see on UPI, on debit cards, it's giving me a 5% off. That also incentivizes the customer to actually make a prepaid order and finish their order. So 3 main things: an OTP login, a pre-fill address, and a prepaid discount. Step 2 is order and address confirmation using manual calling. If you get an order on your website, simply call up every customer and say, hey, I'm calling from ecomtushar.com. You just bought XYZ at $9.99. Can I confirm your order? If they say yes, you just say, okay, can I quickly just confirm your address? That way you get a quality address to ship the order out to. The truth is that people still value human connection. Somebody genuinely calling them to ask about their order and their address will increase trust and your delivery rate ultimately. In the worst case scenario, if they say no, that's still good for you because you don't have to ship out that order and you will save your RTO fees. Step 3. Even after all of this, if you're still receiving high RTOs, there's only one thing left to do. Stop your advertising in high RTO pin codes. And the way to do that is also very simple. You'll simply go through all of your order data and extract a list of high RTO pin codes, put them in a Google Doc separated by commas just like this. Then simply copy them and head over to your Facebook Ads Manager. When you're creating an ad set, simply scroll down to the locations area, which is India right now. You'll click on edit and you'll change this include to add exclusions. Then simply you'll just paste all of the pin codes, select location type as postal codes, change the default country to India and click on match locations. As you can see, apart from 3 locations, all of these have now been excluded. Your ads will not be delivered to these pin codes. You click on save this list to use it again and click on add 100 locations. Name your list, which is let's say RTO pin codes, and save. You can also add entire cities and states for your exclusions. Let's say I want to exclude Delhi. So now all of Delhi will not get my ads. But please keep in mind, all of your ad sets will re-optimize when you do this. So only do this at the start if possible. So I hope you were able to understand everything about RTOs in the Indian market, why they're so important to reduce in a cash on delivery business, the relationship between your metrics, and most importantly, how to reduce these RTOs. Be sure to implement these steps and let me know how it works out for your business. How much RTO do you manage to reduce? And if you have any more tips or methods that you use to reduce RTOs, let everyone know in the comments. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.